I can add moderators to the live? That's sick. Maybe one of you guys will become a moderator this week. Hello, if you're watching this back, you're probably actually going to be the first one to see this. So, what's up? How you doing? Back on our 8th Thursday Night Live episode, which is pretty sick. That's 8 consecutive weeks now that I've been doing this. Just lighting an incense. 1 second. I'm getting the buggers out of here. Hey, we got somebody pulling out. Yo, there he is. The Blue Soldier. What up? I just got off work, brother, but I will be right back. Got the noti and can. That's so dope, dude. What's up, homie? It's honestly epic that you're here, man, because you were one that I was like really hoping would pull up because you were the one asking about the DMT related videos earlier today, right? I would love to talk all about DMT videos with you, homie, and the fact that you're like here in the live, you can ask me specifically exactly what you'd want to see in a video, you know what I mean? It was super cloudy for this last full moon eclipse. Homie, Fish, first of all, what's up? I hope you're well, man. Dude, I missed the eclipse too. I missed the lunar eclipse because I set the alarm. I was going to get up right on time, right on cue with everything. It was like 2:30 in the morning that I was going to get up to see that totality. And bruh, I set the alarm for the wrong day, dude. Literally the wrong day. So I set the alarm for the whole ass wrong day. I wake up naturally at like 4 in the morning, which is like the end of the eclipse. And I wake up, I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I missed it. So I run outside and I look up at the moon and you see this like sliver of a shadow across the side of it. And I was just like, damn it, dude. Like, it was so upsetting to me, but I still got to witness that eerie, like the residual effects of the eclipse. That shit was so cool, man, seeing that shadow across the side. I really wish I could have seen the totality, though. But I think there's another lunar eclipse totality this September, I think. Zane, what's up, homie? How you doing, man? All of you pulling up right now. If you're, yeah, I see a bunch of people pulling up right now. If you're new here, my name is Devin. I host the YouTube channel Northwood Shaman. I post content revolved around spirituality, psychology, and self-transformation and that kind of stuff. And yeah, if you're here, I go live every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And yeah, we just hang out and talk, and it's a beautiful way to engage with you guys, both regulars and newcomers to the channel, in a way more intimate and in-the-moment way. So yeah, if you have any questions or statements or comments revolved around spirituality, psychedelics, meditation, anything like that, self-transformation, motivation, feel free, don't hold back. Add some awesome stuff into the chat, and I would love to touch on it. Where are we at here? The Fat Muppet, are you a Zamonda Yahoo? I don't know what that means, homie, so I'm going to deny that offer there. Fish, feels I only got to see the moon only after the event. Still felt the vibes. I felt the vibes too, man. I totally felt the vibes too. It was incredible. Like, I don't know how many of you, I was in the path of totality for the total solar eclipse last April, and bro, that shit literally changed my life. Like, seeing that total eclipse was absolutely mind-blowing. It was literally like watching God play a magic trick right in front of me, real time. Like, it's crazy. And like, when I heard about the solar eclipse, at first I was like, whatever, I'm not gonna go up and see it. It's just an eclipse, right? And then, you know, the day that it landed, I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm gonna just go up and see it. It was like a 2-hour drive to get into the path of totality. So I drove up, I hung out with some friends, and when that totality hit, when the whole world around me started turning dark, and it was this weird silvery color, and it was like, It's different than when a cloud moves in front of the sun. The solar eclipse, it was like the sun was losing power. Like literally it was dimming out. It was going away. I'm like, and looking at it with the eclipse glasses, seeing the moon moving in front of it, it was crazy, bro. And I felt this very strange energy building in me. It was like, I was like, am I gonna have a fucking panic attack right now? Like, this is crazy feeling. And yeah, when totality hit, bro, like the stars came out. There was like a sunset looking colors off in the distance, and looking at that pitch black abyss with this brilliant angelic glowing light around the edges, it blew my fucking mind, bro. Like, if you go on my Instagram, there's videos of me like, holy fuck. It was crazy. It was crazy, bro. But ever since then, I vowed to never pass up an opportunity to see that kind of stuff. Some of this stuff you'll only see once in your life, and like, it's as simple as being like, whatever, I don't feel like getting up at 2 a.m, or whatever the instance is, where you pass up seeing something that you'll literally never get to see again in your life. Naimol Hoke, hi, what's your channel about? Hi, Naimol. I don't know, I'm probably butchering the pronunciation there. My name is Devin. My channel, I talk about spirituality, psychology, self-transformation, motivation, unraveling negative thought patterns and, you know, negative self-deprecating talk, and basically just transforming your life oriented in a way oriented around spirituality, talking about meditation and psychology and inquiry and living life from a spiritual perspective. So yeah, definitely check it out if that interests you, man. What up, G? What's up, beefy knob? How you doing, homie? We are new. What's up, Kyle? Thank you for pulling up. Oh boy. Hitoshi, are you a witch? No, but my mom is. Spirituality, really? What religion do you follow? I don't follow any particular religion. People ask me that a lot in the chat, and I just like to say I follow the religion of life, man. Just life. I'm not a Hindu. I'm not a Buddhist. I'm not a Christian. I'm not anything. I appreciate religion. I don't ascribe to a certain religion. I sort of search around for what resonates with me, and then kind of just collect the teachings and the vibes and the perspectives that touch home with me. You know what I mean? Oh my God, Jay from the Goonies. Is there a self or is there not a self? Homie, you are opening up a door that I was literally just thinking about today. So, put simply, to put it as black and white as I can, because that's a whole can of worms you're opening, man. Is there a self or is there no self? There is a self. There is a self, but the self is an all-pervasive self. And what that self is reality itself. Every single one of you watching this right now, you are the self, the I. Like, the way that I always describe it is, every single one of you right now, you feel like I am watching this guy on live. I am watching this YouTube live. And I'm looking at all of you going, I'm looking at all these people commenting. It's the same I looking out. And what that I'm sitting here saying, I'm looking at you. But you're sitting there saying the same thing. I'm looking at him. It's the same I. Every single one of us right now feels in the seat of subjectivity, of I. I, me, mine. I. What is this I? The I is awareness itself. And that very awareness is no different than the awareness of reality itself. The awareness of I is the same as the awareness of the wind blowing and the awareness of a river running or seeing something or hearing something. Reality itself is the self. Now, where it gets confusing is when that awareness is spun through the kaleidoscope of the human mind, which is what we all are here sitting in this chat. We're all humans with this mind. The mind is what gets in between, it's what interferes and obscures the perception of pure self, where we are all the self. We're all one. We're all the same being. We all exist right now. You're all hanging out where you are. I'm sitting here right now. We're all just happening. But where all the difference and separation comes into the equation is in the mind, where awareness is ran through the mind. Like in the same way, like when you run a beam of light through the prism, it refracts into the colors of the rainbow. That's what we do. Where when awareness is run through my mind, I'm going to describe things differently, act differently, say different things, and present myself in a different way than all of you would. And that's what makes it appear like I'm me and you're you and that's them and all these individual people. But the only difference there is in the mind itself. The mind is obscuring the pure, untainted self that we all are. You know what I mean? Like a baby, two babies hanging out don't feel like they're different than each other. There's just this unnamed experience. You know what I mean? But it's when we start to get older and assimilate ideas of I'm Devin and I'm a human and I'm a little kid and those are my parents and this is what I like and this is what I don't like. All the thoughts, all the ideas that the consciousness is being projected onto, it loses itself in those thoughts and ideas and acts out of them as if they are a fundamental concrete reality. But the only difference, the only reality of the separation is the reality that we're insisting there is through our own concepts. So, in short, yes, there is a self, but what that self is everything. Reality itself. So in a way, you could say there is no self because it's all the self. It's all the self. There's not all these individual selves. I know this is a very far out idea, and it's something that I was literally actually just thinking about today. And a lot of what I'm talking about, if you want to learn more of the like what I'm expressing, a lot of this is based in Hindu mysticism, the mystic philosophies of Hinduism. So if you look into that, you're going to see what I'm talking about of Anatman, no self, and non-duality, and, you know, unity with life itself. And they're not the sort of ego, the separate self, being just this sort of refraction of the mind. It's not an actual real thing. You know, the ego, the apparent self, is the same as a constellation of stars where you look out and you see the Big Dipper. There's not actually a Big Dipper out in the sky. It's an appearance of the particular vantage point from which you're looking. And if you shift your perspective a little bit, there's no more Big Dipper. And that's the very same thing with the ego, the apparent self, is you only exist in reference to where you're looking, to the place from which you're looking. But when you shift the vantage point from which you're looking, that ego that you thought you were no longer exists. It was just a constellation of thoughts, you know? So I hope that answers your question there. Obviously, I'm just saying what I think, you know. I don't know the truth. I'm just a human like you, you know. Blackheart Coda, hello. How are you, homie? How you doing? The Blue Soldier, do you have a religion? I don't know if you're still here, homie, but I kind of answered that. I appreciate religions. I'm not a religious person. I appreciate Hinduism, Buddhism, Zen, Taoism. You know, I got the Tao Te Ching right here. Shamanism, Native American spirituality. I appreciate all of it, man. But do I ascribe myself to a particular religion? No. How can I use the runes for result? I don't know what you're referring to there, Fat Muppet. Say something about edibles of cannabis. Be careful. Be careful, because edibles, obviously depending on your tolerance and all this stuff, but edibles will put you on your ass. It's funny you guys are mentioning what you're mentioning here, like the no self thing. I was just thinking about that today. Edibles, I was just talking with my coworker today about like the edible experience I had. We've all probably had the edible experience, and this was actually the first time I ever took edibles, and it was so strong, bro. Like, I was a stoner too. I smoked weed every single day. I was familiar with weed. I had a huge tolerance, and I was like fucking 14, 15 years old or something like that. And me and my brother my dad had these edibles that he'd gotten, and me and my brother would like sneak little bits and pieces of them when he wasn't around. He'd like go to take a shower, and we'd sneak into his room and we'd get some crumbs and go back and play video games, and I'd be like fried off my ass, dude, like baked out of my mind just off some crumbs, bro. And then one day my dad went to work, and me and my brother were home alone, and we decided to eat a whole ass chunk, and they were like chocolate chip cookies, like these little cubed cookies. And they were literally like blue-green tinted from how much fucking butter was in them. And we ate a whole cube, and I remember how nasty it tasted. It was so gross because of how strong they were. And bruh, literally within like 30 minutes, I was fried out of my mind. I was telling my brother, I'm like, dude, I am stoned right now. And he's like, no, dude, edibles take like an hour or so to kick in. You're not feeling anything yet. It's different than smoking. And I'm like, bro, you're saying all that, but I'm fucking blitzed off my skull right now. Like, I'm high as hell. And it kept climbing. Every single minute was a deeper and deeper intensity of a high. And I just kept getting higher and higher and higher. And I tried like playing a video game, and this was before any sort of spirituality or any of that stuff had manifested. And I was playing this video game, and I literally felt like I was like behind myself, watching myself play the video game, and like I couldn't even focus on the game. And at that point, I laid down on the couch, and you've all probably heard the term couch lock. I couldn't move. I was pinned to the couch, and my eyes were like fucking buttoned right shut. Like, I could barely even open my eyes. And here's another really far out part. If you like drink a lot, you get the spins where you kind of feel like you're like falling back. Well, I got that with the weed, with the edibles. When I closed my eyes, it felt like I was like falling back, and I had to like open my eyes and be like keep my eyes open, because when my eyes were closed, it felt like I was like fucking falling back. And it's crazy. I had a haircut scheduled that day, and my brother drove me to go to the haircut place, and I'm still fried out of my skull on this edible, and the lady's like telling me like, turn your head to the left, and I'm like barely responsive. And apparently the haircut lady like looked at my brother and was like, what did you do to him? Like jokingly, because she knew like this kid's fucked up right now. But dude, I remember when I went to sleep that night, I woke up in the morning and I was still high, bro. But yeah, that was my cannabis, my edible experience. Repent and turn to Christ. The occult is a never-ending chasing of the tail. There's a lot of hardcore Christians that pull up in the chat, man. I'm all about turning to Christ, man. It's just I feel like I probably define Christ as something a little bit differently than the Christ you're referring to here, Precognition from dreams. Fish, what are you referring to there, homie? I forgot. How can I make patchouli smell better? I don't know. Maybe get something that doesn't smell like patchouli. Ivo, shrooms opinions? I have not tried shrooms a lot. The most experience I have with psychedelics is LSD and DMT. I've tried shrooms a couple times, and it absolutely blew my mind, because I was used to acid, where it comes up for like 2 hours, and then you're pinned floor to the wall for the next 8. And when I tried mushrooms, I tried like probably a gram or something. And I remember that feeling of climbing, and it was very similar to like the headspace and the body high of LSD. And I'm climbing into this space, and right as I'm about to like settle into the trip, like I would with LSD, and like just ride with it for the night, right as I was about to set into it, it was going away. And I was like, it's over? Like, what the fuck? Like, shrooms is like half the duration of LSD, and that blew my mind. And you know, on that one mushroom experience I had, there was this very interesting thing that happened that has never happened on any other psychedelic, where I was watching like videos on YouTube and I went into this like void. No thoughts, no vision, no thinking, no awareness that I'm on mushrooms, no awareness that I'm in a void, just nothing. And then all of a sudden, I like came to, and I was like, what the fuck was that? Like, that's never happened to me on LSD before. So yeah, what I noticed on this mushrooms trip was like how short it was in comparison to LSD, and those little subtle differences that started to manifest themselves a little bit. But yeah, man, I don't have a lot of experience with mushrooms, maybe just some like microdose experiences and stuff, but not enough experience to give you like a solid opinion, you know what I mean? Bankhead, you like fentanyl? Yeah, bro, that's my drug of choice. Abnorm, I felt the vibes, but I was on the herbs. Yeah, Abnorm, if you don't have a tolerance, bro, smoking weed will put you on your ass just as hard, too, and way quicker, you know? Kyle Zubricki, I didn't even look at the eclipse. Which one are you referring to? The solar eclipse last year or the lunar eclipse? Christy Gold, I'll like. Christy, what's up? How you doing? Fenty, nah, Fish. I love you, bro. I hope you're well, Fish. You don't like fentanyl, Fish? Come on, man. Hey, Bankhead, classic moves. Yeah, right? Lucifuge and friends. Fried. I'm actually sober as a nun right now, homie. Hitoshi, it's expensive. What's expensive? The edibles? Why would anyone want to look at the sun for fun? Well, for a plethora of reasons, homie. I mean, not obviously not looking at like the fucking straight on sun, you know, but when there's an eclipse, dude, like fucking mind blowing. It's beyond fun, homie. It wasn't all that. What the eclipse? What are you referring to there? Lucifuge. 7 sausages sizzling in a saucepan. Marijuana better. I feel you. Bro, I can smell room candles from way here. What are you referring to? Like you can smell my room or something, like just based off the vibe? Imagine 1812 when the whole summer had no sun. Abnorm, what happened in 1812? Fucking volcano or something? Lucifuge. You think I'm high, bro. I'm not. I'm completely sober. I don't even smoke weed. Fish, what's the molecule on your necklace? Bruh, come on, I know you. You can get this. It's not DMT. Hold on, I'll make it down to the bottom of the chat at some point. Yeah, Lucifuge. If Lucifuge, if you're referring to the molecule on my necklace, you're right, homie. Similar to LSD, never pass it up. Yeah, I don't take psychedelics a lot. Like I've been telling Lucifuge, man, I'm sober. I don't use substances a lot. You know? Like I don't smoke weed, I don't take psychedelics often. Sometimes I use like nitrous oxide. I'll use hape, which is a tobacco snuff. You know, I'll drink like once every few weeks. You know what I mean? Like a beer or so. I don't use substances a lot. Talk about Satanism. I don't know enough about Satanism to talk about it from like a confident perspective there. Egypt, I don't know what you're referring to there, Lucifuge. I'm sorry, I'm behind in the chat, but honestly, I love it. I love it because I love the flow. Ross, heyo, shaman, what's up, Ross? How you doing, homie? I hope you're well. I hope all of you in the chat are well right now. I'm making my way through the chat right now, so if you have a question or something, I'll pull up on it in a moment here. Good vibes, positive. Markel, thank you, homie, or Marcel, however you say that. What's around your neck? I got mala beads, sandalwood mala beads, and a necklace with the LSD molecule on it. That's what it is, Fish. He talks about healthy attachment versus unhealthy attachments, I assume. Fish, if you're referring to my channel, bro, that's facts. That's basically what I talk about is like, you know, healthy ways of thinking and identifying toxic thought patterns and limiting belief systems and yeah, trying to structure and orient your life in a more so spiritually toned way, you know what I mean? Religion of life is amazing. Fuck yeah, man. The Blue Soldier, if you're still here, homie, I don't know if you have yet, but drop some of the questions, like the content you want to see me post about DMT and stuff. We're here in the moment right now, homie. So ask me, like, whatever it is you're curious about, what you want to see. Drop a comment in the chat and I'll see how I can relate to that, you know? That's the cool part about the lives, man. I recommend you watch The Muslim Lantern sometime. He is deep into spirituality. Maybe I'll check him out if I can, you know, if it crosses my mind. Hey, Sugar Lips. What's up, Sam Shaw? How you doing? Bank, you scanning through feeds too? I like your jewelry. Thank you very much, Cheyenne. You're high. Lucifuge, you spelled your wrong, homie. And no, I'm not high at all. Charles Drake, bless up, bro. Barack Obama's in the chat. No way. The real Barack Obama. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for everything you did. I am being with the watcher, watching the watchable. Fish, you know what's up, homie. That's why I'm fucking friends with you on Facebook, bro. You know what's going on. Wallpaper border knowledge. All right. I explain this every single live. I get it. I understand why I have to. I live with my grandfather. This is my aunt's old room from when she was a child. That explains the wallpaper. User, why are you talking like that? User has been banned for naughty words. No way. That's facts. Lydia, what's going on here? I don't really know. If you're still here, Lydia, my name is Devin. I run the YouTube channel Northwood Shaman, and I go live every single Thursday at 7 o'clock in the evening and just hang out and talk about shit. Whatever you guys bring up and comment on in the chat. You know, we talk about spirituality and psychedelics and God and religion and politics and aliens, and sometimes we'll get talking about like fucking Pokemon. You know, you never know where it's gonna go. The conversation is kind of being led by you guys, and that's the fun part. I believe he just smoked a dab. I did not. Hi, I'm Christian. I hope to learn something from you. Well, Queenie Ray Eyes, that's awesome. That's what I'm here for, is to help you better understand spirituality and living from a spiritual perspective. I don't know about Christian now, but maybe. You never know. Jesus loves you. See what I'm saying? There's a whole bunch of like Christian vibes in the chat. I'm all for it though, man. It's whatever. Pure fentanyl. Who said we are humans? The government? Hive mind, unwind, turn the tide, let loose and ride. Facts, bro. That sounds like lyrics. Resistance is futile. Bankhead, you keep talking about fentanyl, homie. You're out the chat, brother. Resistance is futile. Join the Borg. Being human is all mental. Yeah, I feel you. Human is an idea. Like, it's literally like, we think we're talking from this like objective reality. We are humans and those are not humans, and that's that animal and that's that, you know what I mean? We're talking as if we know what the fuck's going on. We've just made up all these ideas, bro. We don't know what the hell this is. All of you hanging out in the chat right now and me sitting here, we don't know what this is. We've created a good consensus, an intellectual consensus of what this is, but ultimately, we have no idea. We don't have even the slightest idea other than the fact that it's happening. Here we are. You know what I mean? And that's the fun in, you know, excavating meaning and excavating ideas and philosophies and theories and all this different stuff. Everything we see in the world is the product of being a part of something that we don't know. You know, it's incredible. What's this about? I'm just live, homie. I'm just hanging out, talking about stuff. Realize. Facts, man. Yo, do you got a mushroom micro-tripping pea? I don't know what that means, hunted coyotes. Black people are the real gods. Okay. You mean be here now, sir? Jesus Christ is the truth and the way. Facts. But Jesus Christ is not only that dude depicted in the Bible. Jesus Christ is God. And every religion gets a little bit of God, has a little piece of God in their true fundamental teachings. You ever see Bigfoot? I live with Bigfoot, bro. URL. Hello, how are you, URL? I don't know how to say your name there, but hi, I hope you're well. Is that the sound of a ceiling fan in the background? It's my PC. Is it bothering? Is it loud? Bankhead, I'm sorry. You're out, homie. Put user in timeout just for a little bit. Let's do a 10-minute timeout. Bankhead's going into timeout because he just keeps talking about fentanyl. Merryman, black people are the real gods. What drugs are you talking? Right? Are you guys even listening? That's so funny. Okay, so Fish, what happens in these chats is, like, randomly, people will just come in out of nowhere, and it's people who, like, I have a pretty niche YouTube channel, spirituality, meditation, self-transformation, inspiration, that kind of stuff. But I feel like when I go live, it will throw the live feed into just, like, the shorts page. So random people scrolling come across this live, and they don't have any tie to, like, what the channel is about. And, you know, that's part of the fun of these lives, is linking and communicating with new people and meeting new people and engaging with different demographics of people and stuff. But it also brings in people that are just, like, gooning and trolling and shit, you know? It's fun. I had to get used to it. I'm still getting used to it. Hunted coyotes. You in Budapest? Nah, bro. I see the ego as a vehicle for our soul to be here. Facts, man. Facts. I feel exactly the same way, man. We're, you know, like Terrence McKenna said, the ego is so that I can put food in my mouth and not your mouth. You know, it's this ego localizes you in the body that your soul is animating through. I actually want to make a video talking about that soon, talking about what is it that animates the body. You know, like, I don't know if this is going to be triggering for any of you, but, you know, like when somebody dies and, like, you see their body at a funeral, you understand immediately they are not there anymore. It doesn't mean they don't exist. It means what you knew that person to be is no longer there. But their body is right there in front of you. But you undoubtedly know they're not there anymore. Who it was that you loved is not there anymore. And what that's revealing in that very feeling, which I'm sure we've all felt, is that you know they are not that body. This body right now that I'm moving all about, there is something animating through this body. And there's something animating through every single one of your bodies right now, too. It's the thing that's looking out of your eyes. The thing that's listening and hearing what I'm saying. The you in there, in your head, that sees me talking to you, that is an animation of consciousness. You know, what is a soul? What is a personality? We know that we are not these bodies. Who we are animates through this body. And when we depart from this body, or like if something happens to the body and it causes it to not be able to sustain life, the soul departs from the body and stops animating. And that's what death looks like, where, you know, when somebody dies, they stop moving, they stop talking, and they decay back into nature. Where was it that they went? Do they not exist anymore? I'm sure there's a percentage of you guys that probably think that, you know, when you die, it's lights out. But I personally feel that the configuration of life, like in this instance, the configuration of the human body is a particular configuration or constellation of atoms, of chemicals, of molecules, that when it's arranged in this way, in a healthy way, consciousness can manifest through it. And when something goes awry, goes wrong with the body, like organ failure or trauma or something like a disease or something like that, consciousness is no longer able to animate through the body. And since the consciousness is the thing that sort of keeps the body going, and when the body is no longer able to hold consciousness within it, the body falls apart. It's very interesting stuff, you know. I'm gonna make a video about it here soon. Hash balls, bro. It's so zesty. Do you know electronics? Do you know how to repair a ceiling fan? Oh, Species, I know what you're referring to, homie. I think. Why not be a Christian? I just don't feel a calling to it, Negan. I'm sure if I felt a particularly strong calling to associate myself with Christianity, I would. You know, it's why not be a Christian? It's kind of like, I don't know. It's a very specific thing. Like, you know what? I'm gonna be Christian. Why not be Christian? You know, it's not something that you just kind of like, you know what? I'm gonna wear that shirt today. You know, it's not like that. You know what? Fuck Satanism. I'm gonna be Christian now. You know what I mean? Christianity is something that you intrinsically feel a calling to, you know? Bro's religion is zest. So you're a man of faith as opposed to religion. I guess you could say that, yeah. Yeah. I am Native American Christian. Michael Nightwolf, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. I love that. You believe in God? Cause? Absolutely. Undoubtedly, with every single cell in my body, I do believe in God. I think, to put it simply, God is everything. God is everything. God is not an old man in the sky. God is not really a face to God other than everything that exists. Everything is a manifestation of God. There is nothing that's not God. You've had lots of edibles. Kinda. Not really, Mary Man. More so when I was younger. I use RSO to make my edibles. Ganja King, that must be pretty friggin' strong, man. I've never heard of using RSO to make the edibles, and it probably tastes like shit, yeah? Have you tried blow? I have never tried cocaine before. The only drugs that I've ever tried, I'll list them off real quick. Weed, nicotine, alcohol, LSD, DMT, mushrooms, nitrous oxide, ketamine, MDA, and that's it. Edibles are fake, bro. It's all placebo. Mugen. Nah, you're full of... That's nonsense, bro. Edibles plus coffee equals focus bliss. Fish, do you smoke every day, homie? I literally can't smoke anymore, bro. Like, it's crazy how strong it is for me out of nowhere. I got dried leaves of cannabis. Any tips how to make it usable? If it's just the leaves, bro, there's not much you can do with it, especially if it's dried. I was going to say, like, if they're fresh leaves, you could, like, juice them. I would just use it as an amendment. Throw it back into the garden, man. More psychedelic compounds are created when digested versus smoked. Really? I've never heard of that before. I do know that when you smoke weed, what gets you high is delta 9 THC. But when you consume weed, when you eat it, what gets you high is 11-hydroxy THC, which lasts way longer and is said to be more sedative and more psychedelic, more trippy and trancy and head trippy, you know what I mean? And I've always wondered what the possibility of being able to like isolate 11-hydroxy THC is and smoke that shit, you know? Make weed milk with the dried stuff, really? I straight up cannot handle them whatsoever. What, edibles, Becca? I can barely even handle weed alone, bro. Pure burnout. Rubber chicks, I don't even smoke weed, bro. Why you have that bead around your neck, bro? You come here in India. Well, earlier I was talking about appreciating religion as opposed to being religious. And Hinduism and sort of Eastern mysticism as a whole is something that I think I appreciate the most. Hinduism is something that I have a very high affinity with. I resonate with the philosophies and teachings and practices of Hinduism very deeply. And yeah, I got Ram, a Hindu god, tattooed on every single one of my fingers, you know what I mean? Like, Hinduism is like what calls to my soul. In the same way that person was like, why not be Christian? It's because of that affinity, that how strongly you feel pulled to something, and Hinduism is something that I feel a strong call towards. It resonates with me, you know? Yeah, it can definitely make a sexual experience way different, way more connected to yourself and each other, yeah. You been in India? You wear those beads around your neck. I've never been to India. I would love to visit, though. Sun Wukong. I love shrooms. I took 11.5 grams of mushrooms once. That's fucking crazy, bro. I bet you tripped balls. Tell us about that trip, man. Don't do drugs. Coyote, I'd like to say I understand that, but I did not understand that. Wait, what are you referring to there? Yeah, right. Hi, Jesus loves you all. That's so sweet, Johnson Prasad. That's beautiful. Got a quick question for you about Changa. I've got the mean. I just need to know the ratio to mix with it per 1 gram. How much dried herb should I use? I feel like I'm not like a reliable source of that information, of like giving you an opinion on that. But honestly, I would need like way more information, like the ratios and shit. You know what I mean? But I don't even know, to be completely honest, homie. George Peters, you said don't do drugs a minute ago, and now you're asking me about fucking Changa, bro. You're going to jail, says JC Penny. So your brain is mush. Shantanu Singh. I don't know how to respond to that. Respect the good old days. Jesus is the real God. Yep, Jesus is the real God, but what Jesus is the all-pervasive God, you know, that every religion gets a little bit of a taste of, you know. Hey, see, Fish is helping you out in the chat. Fuck yeah, bro, there we go. Fish is all reliable, man. I took 8.5 double-dipped tabs. Double-dipped. There's all these terms in reference to LSD. Double-dipped, family fluff, needlepoint, white on white. It's either paper, gel tabs, liquid, and it's a certain dose. You know what I mean? I mean, do you really think they fucking dipped it in liquid twice? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. This is that family fluff, needlepoint, white on white, double dipped, man. And she'll get you fucked up. And then you eat it and you like barely even trip. Oh, you're for sure going to jail. Are you live in Canada? Nope. I live in the United States. What compound is your necklace representing? LSD. Good old LSD. Namaste. Sherpa, namaste. Comb your hair, hippie. I'll get a buzz cut if you make fun of my hair one more time. Get a job. Pronouns? I'm a dude, bro. I'm a dude, man. Being sober sucks. It's like staring at a wall. Hey, man. When you're into the shit that I'm into, you know, like staring at a wall, sitting down in a silent room, you'll get higher than fucking people using psychedelics, weed, alcohol. You know what I'm saying? Like, why does being sober suck? I wish I could not work and do drugs all day. Oh, you're gooning, bro. Cringe. What is your favorite quote? I feel like I have a plethora of them. Those who speak do not know, and those who know do not speak. That's one of many. And yet here I am talking. Are you a they them? Simulation theory thoughts? Jasmine Eversfield. Very interesting that you bring that up. I was literally just talking with my mom earlier about that. Okay, so to put it simply, I don't think this is a simulation. I think this is like the raw, real reality, if you will. But here's the fucking kicker. Let's imagine this is a simulation. It doesn't matter. Does it make any difference to the way in which you live your life? Does it make any difference? Yeah, are you going to change the way that you live your life knowing it's a simulation or not? And also, the real way in which if this is a simulation doesn't matter or not is that there is a reality. Whether this is a simulation or not, reality exists. Those who are simulating us, let's suppose this is a simulation and we're being simulated. Who's simulating us? Where do they exist? What is the universe in which they are simulating us? It's irrelevant. Whether or not this is a simulation is completely irrelevant because reality is real and reality is like what I'm after. The mystery of existence. The simulation theory doesn't disregard or negate the fact that there is a reality. So in a way, it doesn't matter if this is a simulation or not. And, you know, if it's a simulation, I hope that who I wake up to when I come out of the simulation is just as fascinated by the mystery of reality as I am in this simulation. You know what I mean? This is a spiritual matrix, 1000%. Zane. What do you mean by that, bro? After my big old spiel about the simulation theory, what do you mean by that? Some of you in the chat are fucking numb, bro. I'm no longer religious. I'm working on spirituality. Derek Jones, what would you define as the main difference between religion and spirituality? Denver, Colorado here. Great convo. Victoria Carpenter, thank you so much for tuning in. I want to visit Colorado sometime. That seems like a beautiful place to go. And thank you. Thank you for the compliment about the convo. It's so fun. It's interesting. Oh my god, bro, we look alike. I can't really see you there. I'm gonna get kicked from chat from hurting poor girls' feelings. Okay, so Nightman is a good example of somebody that's like, he's like, homie, you're sitting here just like gooning. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're sitting here talking about God and spirituality and all this crazy shit, and you're like, answer me, like, look at my hate comments, like get mad about what I'm saying, you know? It's awesome. Who comes to a spiritual chat to discriminate? Yeah, exactly, Zane. That's what I'm saying. It's awesome. Hold on, I'm gonna just block him, to be honest. Where is he at? Put in timeout for infinity. There we go. Nightman is gone. Fuck yeah. When is she ever gonna shut up? All right, hold on. Let's get you out of here too. I'm just cleaning up the chat a little bit real quick. Think of the trolls as just the jester of our subconscious manifesting. Hey, that's a good way to put it, man. That's a good way to put it. I'm over here like trying to block them and like filter out the chat, you know what I mean? Filter out the fucking shadows of my subconscious. Let's block that. Forget that part. Imagine how sad their lives are, Fish, if they are doing this. That's kind of what I was trying to put into an example. Like, these are real people that are sitting here typing on their phone with nothing better to do than, like, emit negativity. You know? Like, what are you doing, bro? I'm an atheist but have a higher power. That's interesting. What is that higher power? Glad they can read that, though. Bankhead was timed out by Northwood Shaman. Yep. Let's go. Liked and subscribed. Samuel, thank you so much, man. I really hope you enjoy the content, bro. I post every week. I feel like you'll really like this stuff, yeah. Yo, what's up? What's up, Corey Edward? How you doing, homie? Everybody in the chat right now. I love you guys. I love making my way through this chat. You know, it's awesome. Just scrolling through, seeing what you all are saying, and seeing you guys talk amongst each other. It's so beautiful. It's why I do this. I'm Sam Westall from England. That's awesome. I'm Devin. I run the channel Northwood Shaman, and I'm from Maine. What's your topic about? Corey, if you're referring to like what I talk about on my channel, I talk about spirituality, self-transformation, psychology, living from a spiritually oriented perspective, you know, and just living a wholesome life, man. Really, just trying to unravel and undo toxic limiting belief systems. And basically I'm teaching about what I'm learning. You know what I mean? Yeah, dude, I'm on shorts and I just came across this. Yeah, exactly, bro. It's far out. Oh, I got another one to pull out of the chat real quick. Hold on. Let me guess. Spirituality without God. Rockaway, are you referring to what the comment from that guy that said he's an atheist but he's spiritual? I'm one of those random people. Yeah, it's funny, man. Like, it just throws my live into like a feed of people. Like, you'd think it would refer the live to people who are like associated with what my channel is about. But it kind of seems like YouTube just fucking throws it into like anybody's feed, you know? So that's why I'm over here like removing so many people from the chat. Rockaway point. Is God real? That's between you and God, man. That's how I found you, the shorts. Yeah, in the shorts feed. That's cool, man. That's very cool. Do you believe in a God? Absolutely. I believe that God is not only a personal relationship with reality. It's whatever way in which you feel that connection to the mystery. But God is reality. God is the creator of this reality. You know, like when you really like settle back into the mystery of this moment right now. What is this? What are we doing here? What are all these feelings and all these hard times and this fucking infinite vast cosmos that we're a part of and all these thoughts and all this? What is all this? That is God. That's the body and mind of God, is this experience right now. People call it ego. I call it self-preservation. Yeah, honestly. The ego wants you to stay alive, man. That's something I've been realizing recently, is the ego wants you to survive, but the ego doesn't want you to thrive, you know? And so in order to keep you alive, that may mean keeping you living in a pattern of life that's not like very conducive to your well-being, you know what I mean? They say the soul weighs 3 pounds. Really? Who says that? What's the sole purpose of the creation of the soul? Well, give me one moment here. The sole purpose of the creation of the soul, I mean, just playing with ideas here, I would say that the soul is a sort of projection out of the one, the unity of the universe, the complete intrinsic oneness of it all. The soul is a step out of the one. It's individuation from God, from unity, from oneness, from void. And I think it was Alan Watts that talked about, God just being God with no one else to hang out with but God and himself. It's boring, man. So what does God do? God fragments himself, or itself. It's genderless. It doesn't matter. Fragments himself into myriad different souls, myriad different vantage points or perspectives, so that it can veil itself in separation, so that it can go through the process of rediscovering itself. God essentially got bored, and so he's playing hide and seek with himself. The self struggles to maintain his posture with his whims and emotion. Wrestling with what he chooses to identify with. So he maintains his posture with his whims and emotion. Yeah, that sounds good to me, man. When my grandma died, the air got lighter, the vibes changed, and the cats leap off her lap. It was like my grandma left the room into another dimension. Fucking A, man, yeah. I don't doubt that shit. Like, I don't know who was here when I was talking about, like, what animates the body. But, yeah, like, when you see a pet die or a loved one, a relative die, or whoever, you know that they are not that body. They left that body. It's this feeling. You know it. You know they're not in that body anymore. There's their body, but they aren't in it anymore. You know what I mean? Spiritual Westall. Samuel Westall. Good evening. What's up, homie? How you doing? Eugene Cowman's spiritual body. Do you believe that some of us are soulless? No, because if you are, there is a soul. The question, though, is the work that soul has to do. May be dark, may be negative, may be tormenting to itself or others. But I don't think anyone or anything is soulless. I don't think, people talk about like NPCs and shit like that. No, I don't. Everything and everybody is an NPC, a non-playable character. You can't be them. They're separate. I'm an NPC to all of you. You're all NPCs to me. Who's the real NPC? Who's the one that's, you know what I'm saying? Samuel Westall, when you're dead, you're dead. What does that even mean, though, bro? Like, how do you know that? You know what I mean? That's the mystery. We don't know that. When you're dead, you're dead. We don't know what dead means, bro. When you're dead, your body dies, but we don't know the subjective conscious experience of what does or doesn't happen when you depart from the body. What's your religion? T-Money asks. I don't have a religion. The way I kind of like, a lot of people in the chat will ask me that, and like the way I've kind of like started to frame that, the answer is like, I appreciate religion, but I'm not religious. You know what I mean? Energy progresses forward in creation. Facts. I don't know what you're referring to there, Victoria, but I'm down with it. What's your religion? Oh yeah, you already asked that. Back to God from which God gave it, yeah. Damn, T-Money, you're going off with asking what my religion is, homie. Michael Ralph. There is fragmentary subpersonalities that try to govern your thoughts and perceptions. These spirits have their own personality, viewpoints, and the ability to frame your emotions. Well, Michael, that's very interesting, man. So your soul has weight, so energy doesn't die. I agree that, you know, the perspective that energy is neither created nor destroyed, you know, and what that implies is, so okay, so here's something fun. The idea that energy is neither created nor destroyed, that means that all the fucking happiness that you want, all the abundance that you want, all the money that you want, it's already out there. What you're looking for is already out there. It's just it's displaced from being in your present immediate experience. It's not like you gotta make money. It's not like you gotta create happiness. It's a matter of readjusting yourself in the way you're relating to the moment, you know, the world and other people and yourself, that you shift what is present within you, the values and ratios of what's present within you. You know what I mean? It's all already out there. If energy is neither created nor destroyed, that's what that fucking means, man. Spirits have their own personality, viewpoints, and the ability to frame your emotions. So, Michael, are you saying that within an individual is different spirits that are manifesting themselves as different thoughts and emotions? Christ Jesus is the way, the truth, the life. That's eternal life. I'm all about that, man. Let's go. The spiritual witch. Oh my God, she's in the chat. Everybody, I don't know if she's still here, but the spiritual witch, that is my beautiful mother. This is her first time ever pulling up in the chat. That's awesome. Are you still here? I'm making my way through the... Oh, shit. I just spilled tea everywhere. On live. Shit. Well... Well, that sucks. Give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go grab a towel. I'll be right back. Somebody asked me earlier in the chat if I'm a witch. So I got two things to say. I'm not a witch, but my mom is. My mom's a witch, and she very well could have just fucking had her way with my cup of tea. That's funny as hell. Damn, bruh. All right. I'm back. Sorry about that. Well, let me turn up the brightness a little bit here. Do you believe in goblins? Sure, man. Bro definitely has sugar in his tank. Is God goblins? Yeah, when you say God, who are you talking about? Because God is a title. Well, every single word, Corey, is a title. And, you know, I can't, you know, there isn't like a face to God. When I say God, I'm not talking about like an old man up in the sky. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about this experience right now. This right now, reality. This is God. God is reality. God is synonymous with reality, which is synonymous with consciousness, which is it is. God is. God to me is life, and life is a spiritual experience. There's no doubt in my mind about it. I smoke every day, but only before bed. I usually take edibles throughout the day, though. That's cool, man. I can't believe I just spilled, like, my tea all over the place, bro. All over my headset. Yuck. What was your craziest trip on? Sam Hunter? I would have to say DMT, man. DMT is probably what's induced a myriad of very crazy trips. And I also have a shitload of trip reports on them on my YouTube. Globe, geography, and space. Noah Man. Hi, what's up, homie? It's good to see you back in the chat again. I've just been sitting here rambling on. Yeah, I smoke cannabis daily. I have various chronic pains. I wish didn't use weed as much, but it's better than the opiates that get prescribed for my condition. Post-concussion syndrome. Damn, bro. Well, I'd rather you be using cannabis every day than opioids every day for sure, man. Bro, initially I thought you were female. That's fucking hilarious because there was somebody earlier in the chat that was like insisting that I'm a female. That's crazy. Christianity is not an affinity. Not even close, bud. I believe that the depth of somebody's relationship with Christianity is an affinity to Christianity. You know, that's kind of what I'm talking about. Oh, is there? I could tell you a lot about India of what I've learned over the years. Well, I would love to hear it, man. Most of your scammers are in call centers from India. Poverty is huge. Much love to all. Gotta catch a bus and tend to cats and plants. Be good to yourself and the self you hate to see in others. Be kinder. Just try. Who does it hurt to try to be kinder? That's getting pinned. We could all learn a valuable lesson from what Fish just said. Wait, where just was I in the chat? Shit, it just scrolled me all the way down to the bottom. Give me 1 second here. Damn. Hold on, give me 1 second here, guys. It fucking scrolled me down super far. Okay, I'm back. All right, there we go. Are you a Viking? No. Thoughts on the Stamets stack? I don't know what that is. Gabagool. Gabagool, it's good to see you in the chat, though, homie. I've seen you commented on my videos and stuff. There's a book called Steppenwolf by Hermann Hesse. It's about death, suicide, not to spoil the ending. It's so trippy. The guy also has roots from India. Hermann Hesse is the guy that wrote Siddhartha, isn't he? Pretty sure. JIL, Jesus is Lord. Let's go. I'll check that out. Thanks. He traveled to India, and the spirituality he got from there, he has put into his works. I would love to check it out. The Spiritual Witch. Chat is lit. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know how long you've been here, Mom, but I've blocked a bunch of people from the chat. It's hilarious. Colorado is beautiful. I'm going to paint an acacia forest there. That would be sick, bro. Fish, you gotta let me know when you got Sally cuttings, okay? Sally D. Campbell 412, you're so weak you can't even defend your position. That's pretty foolish. If you truly have the power of God inside of you, oh, this is going to get good, then maybe you could convert some of us. Maybe God would speak through you and give us some sort of message. Well, God is in no rush to convert anybody to anything, Mr. Campbell. God is content right where he is, doing right what he is, saying and doing everything he's doing. There's no rush. I don't need to convert you or anyone to anything. You know, God isn't insisting, you know. God just lets you do whatever the hell you think you need to do. The Age of the Awakening. Those types of trolls are in every single chat, no matter where you on the internet. Yeah, I feel that, bro. The internet's crazy. Nice to see you, brother. Talon Roarback, it's so good to hear from you, homie. I love seeing people that I see regularly commenting on the videos and stuff. So beautiful. I hope you're well, man. All you do is create a bubble around yourself and leave yourself open to attack from other sides. And what do you have to do? Just coughing to the camera and tell us nonsense and bullshit all day. Well, I mean, if I could be talking to you guys in person, I definitely would, you know, but you got to start somewhere, you know. What was the worst year of your life? Fish says. I don't know, man. I don't know. Honestly, I would have to say like 2021. It was pretty fucking rough. I was just like heartbroken. Is this about spiritual narcissism? Newton, what are you referring to there? It's about showing the world that you are so controlled by your beliefs that you cannot actually converse with. I don't know what Campbell is talking about, so yeah. Why are you so mad, right? That's a good question, man. Asking the worst year of your life of young people doesn't make sense. You have a lot more years of your life ahead of you to be worse. Well, the age of the awakening, that's true. That I have a lot more years of life, or could have a lot more years, but that doesn't dismiss the fact that there could have been a worst year of my life thus far. You know what I mean? And obviously, different people could have had a very bad year that could have, like, outdid all their years to come. You know what I mean? Don't let the trolls get you down. It means your message is working. That's what I've had to come to understand, man. Is like, not everybody's gonna fucking like me. Some people are gonna think I'm a hippie. Some people are gonna think I'm a trans woman. Some people are gonna think I'm a fucking messiah, like trying to convert you to what I believe in. You know, like, it's whatever, bro. If I like, imagine the task of trying to get everybody to like you. Do I sound mad? Because I'm just being actually very literal. You have to back up the beliefs that you so vehemently defend. It's definitely random. Yeah, I feel that. You look like my ex-girlfriend. Shit, bro. Be my bride in India. I work at Burger King. Very rich. I take care of you, Mrs. Campbell, you're living out here like the world's trying to get you, homie. Yeah, I'm the bad guy. Shit, bro. There is no such thing as right now. I love you guys so much. This is awesome. We are prisoners of the present moment. There is only right now. Shit, bro. Campbell, as it's colloquially said, I don't know who shit in your Cheerios, bro. But I'm gonna start just like scrolling past what you're saying here, because to be completely honest, I don't know what it's in reference to. I wish I could bring people onto the live with me, dude. That'd be fucking hilarious. The universe GPS me here. Fuck yeah, you were meant to be here, Just Blaze. It's good to see you here. Fish. I don't even know what he's all tight about, homie. What's up, man? It's Don. Big love. Thank you so much, man. I love you. I'm so glad to hear. All you guys coming from a place of positivity and love and affirmation and like seeing the negativity as like apparently as I can see it right here. I love you guys. It's so beautiful. Just the emanation of your beauty, you know? It stands out crystal clear, people that are just being trolls and coming from this weird negative perspective, you know? And they all deserve the very same love, but sometimes that love is from a distance. Distance yourself from those people. Campbell, I'm hugging you in the ether. Yes, exactly. Exactly. I don't know what he's talking about, mama. I don't know what he's going on about. The funny thing is, I'm not hurting. He's probably hurting because he probably has been placed in this religion by parents who are overzealous. Oh, shit. I don't need hugs. I need realism. That's a fucking... I'm going to make that my Instagram bio. I don't need hugs. I need realism. I need people to understand that the universe that they actually live in, which is not one created by this guy with a beard. Oh. If you're coming to a spiritual chat to argue, something is not right. That's fucking hilarious, right? I love you, Zane. I love seeing your comments on my videos and stuff, homie. All right, let's scroll past Campbell. Campbell, I'm gonna change your name to Canceled. I had this thought about what is love. Love is the point, homie. In my opinion, love is the point. Love is the goal. Love is the point. Love is the purpose. Yeah. Love is the point. The point is to live from love. Campbell, I feel your pain, homie. Why is the world in a state that it's in if there is an overpowered being who is in control of everything? All right, so Campbell is inspiring a perspective that I've formulated in response to people saying things like he's saying. I remember, there's people that say things like what Campbell's saying right now. And, my dad he's said to me, if God was real, why did he let my mom die of cancer? So, and that's the very same thing of, if God was real, why does he allow these horrendous things to happen? I think, in my opinion, I mean, first of all, I don't know. I'm in the same boat as you. But the way that I feel towards it intrinsically is that the journey of life, the path of life, is so much more transcendent than what our human minds can construct. We're over here thinking, if God is real, then why would he let this suffering happen? But little do you know that suffering it's a needed, necessary facet of reality for not only the ones inflicting the suffering, but those who are suffering. It's so meta to what we can comprehend. And that's just that's the way I feel about it, is that it's necessary. Now, would I go and inflict pain and suffering because I think that the suffering that's in the world is necessary and a part of the unfolding of life? Not at all. My job is to live from a place of love, so that all that I offer is love. But am I going to abandon my faith in the divine because life doesn't play out in the way that I think it should? The ego, the human intellect, is a facet of God. The intellect is saying, why does life have to happen this way? If God was real, I would do it better. I would do it better than God. We don't know how things should be. If we knew how things should be, there wouldn't be any suffering. There wouldn't be any evil if we knew how it should be. But we don't know how it should be. And the way it should be, in my opinion, in a really far out, transcendent kind of way, is the way it is. The way it is the way it should be. Now, if that's going in a direction of positivity or negativity, it doesn't matter. It's an unfolding of God. This fucking reality, bro, is like way bigger than our thoughts, our morals, our opinions, our beliefs, our feelings. Way bigger. Humans are a little microcosm. This is a tiny part of something huge. When you look at a bloodstream under a microscope, you see all these cells fucking attacking each other and eating each other and destroying each other and explosions and all this chaos. That chaos is necessary for the larger order of the human body to be in harmony. So what if that's the same thing on an even bigger scale, where you zoom out just a little bit more, and all these humans and all this evil and all this horrid stuff that we wouldn't program into it if we were in control? What if that disorder, that seeming disorder, is what's allowing for the harmony of the universe to even be in the first place? So that's how I feel about it, Campbell. If you're still here, yeah. I don't think God is here to make things how you personally think they should be. Campbell, if he says, if you want to say the excuse that it is a learning opportunity, which is kind of what I just did, you do not truly understand the meaning of our universe. If you don't either. If you're sitting here saying, why does God do this? Why doesn't God do that? You don't understand the meaning of the universe either, my man. Ramdas says, drop the body for being dead. Yeah, I feel that. Some of your guys' comments are epic. Is Campbell still in the chat going off? This is spiritual school. Do you think eternal souls just get keys to the cars without getting a license? Sounds like a dict. Eternal souls just get keys to the car without getting a license? Sounds like a dictator. Just Blaze, what was your dream, homie? Wait, is Campbell still in the chat? Hold on, I'm gonna remove him. Campbell, if you're still here, homie, I'm gonna remove you because, like, you're playing devil's advocate. You're coming from a place of pure negativity, and I don't know what you're... You know what? No, I'm not gonna remove you. I'm gonna keep making my way through the chat, but I just want to say, I don't know what your actual living, like, 3D life looks like in your relationships and stuff, but my inclination to want to push you away and put you out of this chat is coming from the energy that you're coming and saying, it's all bad and you're a fucking loser and you don't know what you're talking about, you don't understand. You're just bitching. And it's coming from a place of pain, and I'm sitting here, like, not even wanting to engage with you because you're just speaking from corrosive negativity. But I'd rather just have you know that than kick you out of the chat. But yeah, like, yeah. Dude, he thinks I'm in a cult. That's crazy. I am going to kick him out. Hold up. Campbell, I'm sorry. I love you, bro, but you got to go. Put user in timeout for eternity. There we go. All right. Campbell's gone. I don't know how much shit he was throwing into the chat. That's crazy. Send some love to Campbell. Seriously. Like, to be in that position, it honestly makes me want to fucking, like, tear up. To be in that position where you're sitting here typing just pain and sorrow and negativity and being so combative, you have to be in a pretty righteous, dark place. So I kicked him out because it's not functional. It's not conducive to love and positivity, which is what this is about, you know? I'm not here to live in a bubble of, like, I live in a fucking echo chamber, you know, but when somebody's just, it's the same as somebody just going on about cringy stuff, like telling me I'm a beautiful female and they want me to be their wife in India, you know what I'm saying? Here we go. All hail Hanuman, the Lord of the Monkeys, destroyer of Sita's sufferings. You travel faster than the speed of mind. Oh, Maruti, you are the breath of Lord Ram. I'm pinning your comment, homie. I love that. It's like a breath of fresh air. Mythrunder, I hope you're well, homie. I love you very much. I see you in these lives a lot, man. Ram Ram. Hi, Globe. How you doing? Zane, I'm seeing your chat, like, isolated from all the what you were responding to, so I'm just I'm gonna scroll past that, homie. The spiritual witch, are you referring to me getting Campbell out of here? Thomas Crowell, hi, Mom. Shit, bro. That's so sweet. Hoffman for the win. The spiritual witch. Right, bro? I made him spill his drink. Yeah, shit's crazy, bro. Crazy. Oh, shit. That was a minute ago. I love that you guys are just pouring into the chat. Mama, isn't that funny? Literally, I'm going to watch that back in the chat. I'm going to get that as a clip. right as you came into the chat. By the way, guys, the spiritual witch, if you see her commenting, that's my mom. So send her some love. She is such a beautiful being. Her and I share such a deep connection where it transcends mother and son. It's like we're like looking at each other like, damn, we're back here again. You know, it's too deep, too much synergy to not be something deeper, you know. And I couldn't ask for anything other than to have such a profoundly deep connection with my own mother. Nice Cocoa Puffs necklace. Fuck yeah, bro. Hey, bro, you're still alive. What's up, homie? Not much, man. Talking about God, religion, reality. We just had somebody that I had to remove from the chat because he was just like bursting at the seams with like toxic pus. We sent him some love. I hope you guys sent him some love. Seriously. I genuinely mean that, by the way. It's good. He doesn't need more negativity. What he needs is love. And that doesn't mean keep him here and keep allowing and tolerating that toxic behavior, but extend your heart to him or her. I don't know if it was a guy or girl. Seriously, though. Can you tell us about the first 10 years of your life, dividing between the bad and the good? Then do this with the second and third years. I heard about neuro-linguistic programming to improve. I don't know exactly what you're referring to there, Baruch. It was crazy. It looked like I was surrounded by goblins. Are you talking about the dream? I'm pretty sure I read that you're fucking driving, bro. So take it easy. Don't try to write out a dream while you're driving, homie. Yeah, Zane. Oh my God. I love you, bro. Campbell, I'm still hugging you. Yeah, Campbell needs a big hug. T. Chris, yep. Spiritual Witch. Do you post on your channel? Yeah, yep. Eric Mortar 98. Hey yo, what's up, homie? Globe, you keep saying hi, homie. How are you, man? I hope you're well. Black Mirror. If you guys, that guy's name, Black Mirror, if you want to watch a fucking far out TV series, watch Black Mirror on Netflix. Well, I'll see you next Thursday. I'll see you later. See you, homie. We had a busy chat today. I love the busy chat, but yeah, I'm making my way through the chat, you know what I'm saying? Damn, Zane. I don't see anything that Campbell said because I removed him, but I can only imagine. Dude, this far behind in the chat is an L. Shit. That's a good point. I mean, I don't know what to do, man. I want to read everybody's comment. Do you think spirituality is more about connecting and growing in the self or connecting with the external reality universe? Can we even distinguish between the internal and the external? Do you think spirituality is more about connecting and growing in the self or connecting with the external reality universe? Can we even distinguish between internal and external? That's just it. Your last question there defined how I felt towards that, how I feel towards that. It's one. It's one. It's about equal proportion, you know, and I think it's very important to inquire into the self, to work on yourself, because if you haven't established a deep connection with yourself, your external relationships and your external situations are going to reflect that lack of depth that you have with yourself. You know, your external world can only reflect to you the depth to which you've connected with yourself. You know what I mean? And that's why it's so important to establish a solid ground of who you are and what you want and how you feel, and to love yourself, because then and only then can that be reflected in the world around you. So I think it's a balanced game, very much so. You don't want to go live in a cave, you know, and negate the world and deny the world, because it's only by looking in that spirituality is attained. But you also don't want to be completely lost in the world. You know what I mean? You want You want to balance it. It's a dance. I love the energy here in all aspects. I do too, Black Mirror. I love it so much. Whoever it was, by the way, that said I'm behind in the chat, I'm sorry, man. That's a good point. Maybe I should pull up the chat on my computer or something so I can read it more faster or something. But honestly, like, I'm touching on every little thing everybody's saying here, and I can only fucking think and talk so fast. Maybe I need a teammate here, a clone. You can bring people on live. No way I'm that fucking far behind in the chat. What will you do when you are tied up laying on the road tracks and the train's coming? Come on, bruh. You raised a cool son. What a light. Oh, that's so sweet. The light you see in him and as well is in you as well, my friend. That's so beautiful. Everything begins from a thought. Yeah. I looked up black streamers and you were on top of recommendation and I subbed. Fuck yeah, man. Whatever you believe, I respect. I am a Christian. I love God. Yes, we are tiny and God is us. We are a part of him. It's all about love. Hey, bro. Assalamu alaikum. How are you? I'm good, Aman. How you doing, homie? We are coexisting in each other's universe. We are simultaneously creating experiences with and around each other. Facts. I'm so sorry you guys had to get infringed upon by Campbell's chat. I'm still making my way through the shit that he added. I'm sorry. Mr. John Barton removed the negativity. I'm sorry. Oh, shit. Does your friend on the side of your head think for itself? SM here is referring to, I'm sure, my zit situation going on in here. He's been thinking for himself since the fucking Get Out, bro. Like, I wouldn't have asked him to pull up, but he's doing his own thing. He can't win an argument, so he banned me. Whoa, why do I see him again? Hold up. Remove. Oh, wait. No. Hold up. Dude, did he switch Instagram accounts? Isn't spirituality effectively just attempting to justify beliefs that are void of evidence? Not at all, Isaac. That is very far from what I define spirituality to be. That what you just said, spirituality, is just like, that's how I would define delusion, not spirituality. Humans create words for things they fear or misunderstand. Humans create words just to communicate, homie. I think everybody needs to smoke a little crack and all will be fixed. We need to pin that comment. Oh, wait, hold up. Campbell can never be destroyed. Spirituality isn't any one thing, it's many things. In Jesus' name, amen. I'm moving through the chat a little quicker now because I want to... That comment got to me a little bit. Why are you so confident in religion and spiritual stuff? Wish I could have faith. I just feel like it's wishful thinking. I don't. What is next? Blackness? Yeah. I don't know how you say that. If you're still here in the chat. Why are you so confident in religion and spiritual stuff? The same confidence that I feel in religion and spirituality is and the same faith that I have in spirituality is the very same faith that you have in it's just wishful thinking. It's the story you're telling yourself about it. You know what I mean? You're believing and you have that same faith in it's just wishful thinking. You know what I mean? But it's a feeling, man. It's a feeling, you know, and if you haven't touched into that feeling, then it's going to seem like a completely foreign language to you. You know what I mean? But I sense like a yearning, a longing in your message, and that very longing is the thing that will take you home. You know? You may spend a long time thinking that it's just wishful thinking and, You know, that kind of stuff. It's just black when you die. We don't know, man. We don't know, and I wish I could have faith. I just feel like it's wishful thinking. What is it that you believe in? What is it that you have faith in, and why do you have such conviction in that? You know? I want to see light. I wish I could show you. You can't believe it because you know in your heart that it's illogical and non-evidence based. Isaac, we defined what evidence is, homie. We defined what logic is. Does the way we live our lives seem logical? Does the state of the world seem logical? Is it evidence-based? Is the ground upon which you stand and the very reality that you're living in, the feeling of being, is that evidence-based? It's not based on anything, bro. It just is. We're in a fucking mystery, homie. We don't know what this is. You know? Like, science has developed an incredible righteousness. Science was a matter of finding repeatability and patterns and function. Science is not philosophy of existence. Science is not psychology. Science is not spirituality. You know, it's not about finding logic or evidence of, you know what I'm saying? It's deeper than that, man. And I'm sure you don't get what I'm saying, you know, but it's the spirituality is so beyond logic and evidence and, oh, well, you can't prove that exists. It's not about that, bro. When you're in love, you gotta if somebody doesn't see it, does that mean you're not in love? You know what I'm saying? It's personal, bro. It's not a repeatable fucking pattern like a rock falling when you let go of it, you know? Convert to Catholicism. Avoid religion and learn about the universe and science. Shit, Isaac. Mama needs to be a moderator. Oh, that's so sweet. I totally should make her a moderator. Bro, do you like Monster Energy drink? Fuck no, not anymore, man. As far as bringing people on lives go, Instagram and TikTok are both great for collaborating on lives and bringing guests on. Let's go down to the bottom of the chat. What are people saying? I'm going to scroll past everything right now. Okay, Isaac, you are still in the chat. Perfect. Faith to me is a justification of belief without evidence. Oh, did Yoda? Yeah. No, faith, okay. I mean, I like that you said faith to me rather than like saying what faith is, but to me, Isaac, what faith is a feeling, bro. You don't have to justify shit. It's a feeling. You have faith. You know, hold on. Let me see that again. Justification of belief without evidence. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, Isaac. You have faith in something that you don't know. You know what I mean? But after all, we don't even know what reality is, homie. We don't even know what this is. Psychedelics let us look behind the curtain and constraints of language. By the way, I'm sorry I skipped over a bunch of comments. I wanted to get down to the bottom of the chat and see what people were saying. Psychedelics let us look behind the curtain and constraints of language and have a closer connection to true, unfiltered experience. One of the reasons why they're so powerful, yeah. I feel like a lot of us are not ready for what psychedelics have to offer, man. Little big man, exactly. Like I feel the same way. And that's the reason I don't really use them anymore. I hold so much reverence for psychedelics, and they absolutely blew my mind. Psychedelics are why I have this YouTube channel. Psychedelics are why I'm so tuned in to spirituality the way I am. Psychedelics are what have shaped the way that I perceive myself and life and all this stuff. Psychedelics showed me, undoubtedly, God is real. Magic is real. You know? Historical person of Jesus, your thoughts? Are you asking me like if I think Jesus actually existed? I don't know. I don't know enough about that to really touch on it. Faith is saying that you know something without any proof of what you think you know. You know how like you have like a gut feeling, like an intuition? That's what I think faith is. It's in that same category of it's between you and whatever the hell this mystery is. You know, and like to try to fucking like yeah, exactly. Faith it's usually diarrhea. Like this moment right now, guys. What is this? We have all sorts of different words and ideas of this is reality, this is just another day, I'm on a YouTube live, it's just the universe, it's existence, it's God, it's just earth, all these ideas. But ultimately, there's a space within all of us. We don't know what this is. It just is. It just is. And my faith is in the isness. The fact that this exists. So, okay, let's talk about, here's what science proposes. You ready? Out of nowhere, instantly, for no reason, everything exploded into existence. That's what we get from science, is that out of nowhere, instantly, for no reason, everything, boom, here we go. You know what I mean? Don't speak on behalf of science. Why not, bro? I don't know equals infinite potential. Facts. You don't understand the process. Dude, we don't understand this, you know? You know how I said, like, don't talk about something unless you know what you're talking about? If that were the case, we'd all be, like, zipped up, not talking about anything for a long time. Maybe our whole life. You never come to a place where you're like, all right, I know enough to talk about this. You know what I mean? You just demonstrated that you don't understand the scientific process. What, by describing the Big Bang Theory? That, like, out of nowhere, instantly, for no reason, everything exploded into existence? Isn't that what the boom is? Science is a way to find logic in life to certain things. Maybe it makes the most sense, but it may not be true. Right. That's a good way to describe it. Science doesn't propose something came from nothing. All right, so describe to me what the Big Bang Theory is, like in a sentence or so, you know? Because that's what I thought it was, is that, boom, you know what I mean? You and I are made of the same stuff as the planet we live on, the solar system it orbits in, and the universe it's suspended in. That's what gets me, man, is the universe that it's suspended in. Where is the universe? Like, what is this? Like, where is it? Is there an edge? Edge or no edge? It's still, like, imagine an edge of the universe. Where is that? Where is the universe happening? And then imagine infinite. It's a fucking mystery, guys. There's no way around it. You know what I mean? Whether it catalyst, whether something came from nothing or something came from something, it doesn't matter, bro. It's fucking a mystery. Like, it's dreamlike. So like you said, the reality is you don't know. Faith belief is the unwillingness to admit that you don't know. Not at all, GT. Faith is a knowing. Faith is a knowing. For sure, man. Knowing what? I don't know. But it's a knowing. It's a feeling, bro. Singularity manifested. Catalyst, are you still here, homie? Yeah, exactly. Less is more. Faith is just faith. If you have it, you know. It's with you for eternity. It is a blind knowing. Faith is one of those, like, trigger words that kind of gets people, like, on edge a little bit. Same as, like, God. You know what I mean? And then it's the same thing with, like, atheism or God doesn't exist for people who are religious. You know, it's like, you know, faith. Faith doesn't exist. It's all science, you know, or... Does God ever ponder God's existence? That's exactly what's going on right now. God is pondering God's existence. God, it's God talking to God about God, on God, you know? I question everything around me, but there are certain things I do not question because of my faith. I was born with it. No one taught me. It just came with me. Yeah. Faith, man, it's about... What was it that you said a moment ago? Faith to me is knowing that this reality is something fucking crazy. And I can't put a name to it. A scientist in a white coat can't put a name to it. And we both could agree that we don't know what this is. My faith is in the power of whatever the creator is. And we all have so many misconceptions of when I say the word God, we're probably all thinking of something different, relatively different. We're all, you hear that word and it comes in and you think of something. You think of you make up what you think I mean when I say God. When I say faith, you make up what you think I mean. You know what I mean? We're talking about different things. And we're all here together, though. We're all here experiencing this mystery together. Like all of you in the chat right now, you're all on Earth somewhere, happening. I'm sitting here on live, you know what I mean? It's crazy, man. Like when I don't know. I can't like wire your mind to look in that way of like wonder, but to me, bro, like it's crazy. It's crazy. And like, but you said you don't know what all this is, right? This meaning life, existence, the self. If you don't know, then you don't know. Either you know something or you don't. Why bring faith into it? What do you think faith is, GT? Ether Elephant, hello, how are you? We're here talking about science and religion and spirituality and whatnot. I feel like you're looking into it way too much. That's typically what science does. You know? Like there's no set way this is, man. There's no... Okay, so here's the fun part about not knowing. I'm also stoned. That's hilarious. You know that you don't know. What is that knowing? How do you know you don't know? What is that? You know you don't know. If you don't know, why do you get to know that you don't know? Why do you get to know that part? You know? And like, yeah, we're all probably defining faith as this different thing. When I say faith, you may be thinking of like faith in Jesus or something, or like a cringier version of faith. Like I have faith in God, you know what I mean? Faith to me is the awareness, the knowing that this is fucking crazy. There's no doubt in my mind. There's complete conviction and complete faith that this is wild. And it's not for no reason. It's not pointless. It's not meaningless. This is a path, a journey. Like, I mean, come on, man. Like, what is this? You know what I'm saying? The feeling, this experience right now. It's, I don't know how to describe it. People don't understand. Some of you guys seem like you're just here to attack. Have a healthy conversation. That's all he's trying to do. Thank you, Lesson Moore. That's beautiful. People, when it comes to talking about like the actual mechanics of reality, and it's the same as politics, man. People get really tense about it. Faith meaning belief, like you're not sure, but you believe something to be true. No, that's not what I define faith to be, GT. Faith is a knowing, it's a feeling within me, and it's not even necessarily in reference to an idea. It's in reference, in relationship to the fact of this reality. I have complete faith that this reality is something profound. I don't know what, in the same way you don't know what. But I have this feeling of magic, of God, of divinity. I have this feeling that this is all on purpose, that chaotic molecules and accidental conditions in science, sure, that may be the playing field that we're on here, and that's how it all happened. I appreciate that. But do I think that that's the only and is that's solely the way it works? No. I believe that there is an unfolding path, a journey, you know, and I believe that there is a creator. And I believe that we can access that creator within us. It's not this old man in the sky hoping that you be a good little boy, you know what I'm saying? It's you, bro. It's who's looking out of your eyes right now. We try so hard to answer these massive questions, but sometimes the little ones are the most important. How can I spread more love today than yesterday? What would make my homies smile? I'm pinning that. That's fucking beautiful. I love that so much. That's so true. That's so true. Yes, Lesson More. I knew you were talking to GT. I'm not an atheist or religious, by the way, just for context. What do you believe reality is, GT? What do you think this is? Like, do you believe in a God or a creator, or do you feel like what's your relationship with spirituality? Ether Elephant. What is faith based on? That depends on the individual, I think. To me, faith is not a belief. Yeah, exactly. Same here. Hold on, I'm gonna shut my PC off because Black Mirror, you're the second person to comment on my PC being loud. I'm gonna shut this off. I usually have my PC going just so I can like look shit up. Maybe I should look up what is faith for all of us here in the chat. There we go. Oh, listen to that silence. How many of you guys meditate? How many of you guys have a daily practice or even a random practice of sitting down and just being with the moment? Bizu, it's so good to see you here in the chat, homie. It's an instinct. Less is more. You're referring to faith there. I kind of feel the same way. It's not like I have faith in this, or the way that I define faith is just it's this feeling, man, and it's not like a belief. It's this fucking gut feeling that even if I wanted to get rid of it, I can't. You know what I mean? Faith to me is what I believe, nothing more. That doesn't mean that I necessarily know. Right. Why do many young people think that humanity knew nothing before their existence, and they think they're discovering something? What do you mean by that, Sigma? Yeah, I mean, I think I know kind of what you're touching on here. We all kind of come to rough ideas on our own, you know what I mean? And what's fun is when you feel like you discovered an idea, you came to this sort of conclusion or this theory on your own, and then you discover that it's like been around for thousands of years. You know what I mean? That's an amazing feeling. And that just shows you the in the moment process of the human mind coming to terms of certain philosophies. You know what I mean? And you came to a conclusion completely independent of learning about it from somebody else. You know what I mean? It's like finding your way to a particular destination, not knowing that there's a map of how to get there. You know, you found your way there. Faith and knowing are two different things, no? I am enjoying the convo, by the way. I'm not attacking you if it comes out that way. No, you're good, homie. I love you, bro. I love you. It's okay. Faith and knowing are two different things. To me, bro, faith is the knowing. I don't know what it is that I know, but it's spirit. It's magic. It's beyond, it's a feeling of beyond the story that I'm telling myself about what things are. It's all science, or it's all God, or it's all the stories and all the ideas of what I'm describing this reality to be. Faith is this feeling that's completely transcendent and beyond what my mind is describing this reality to be. I am is such a powerful and trippy statement when you really think about it. What is an I? What does it mean to be? Exactly. Who is it that is? Yeah, like when you make the statement, my ego. Motherfucker, whose ego? Whose ego? Who's this me that has an ego, you know? I don't watch TV. Does that count? What are you referring to there, bro? Meditation is the path, liberation is the destination. GT, are you a Buddhist, brother? Are you a Buddhist? Because I know that Buddhists don't believe in God. I be meditating, fuck yeah. Faith is not feeling, faith is action. You guys know that karma actually means action? Karma is action. Faith is something you have in your actions, in your karma. You know what I mean? What do you guys think of determinism? Of if there's a destined path or if we have free will and we're making choices, you know what I mean? I always find it interesting how our mind pops up with ideas. Like, where do the ideas come from? Right, bro? Exactly. It's like a soul coming into a body. What is it that tells the heart to beat, or the brain to come online, you know? Pop that voice. You guys are just going after this fucking zit on my forehead. I believe God is in our minds. Meaning you don't think it's something beyond the mind? Yoga is practice, God actually try. Faith is action, faith is trust, is doing what God asks, nothing more. Signum Crucis, what's your religion? What do you think God is? Faith can move mountains. That's beautiful. So Ram Dass made it clear. He said, had ye but faith, ye could move mountains. But if ye had faith, ye would see why the mountains are there in the first place and not move them. So what he's suggesting there is that faith is a connection with purpose, with meaning, with intentful reason of why things are the way they are. So if you had faith in God, supposing that that's what faith is, if you had faith in God, there's no need for you to change anything. You see that it's all exquisitely the way it needs to be, I think that God guides us through, but we still have free will. Yeah, I feel that. I don't believe there's a destined path. Mostly destined. Yeah. I've heard a lot of very high Indian gurus, Ramana Maharshi and Anandamayi Ma, Ramakrishna, they talk about how it's kind of both. There's certain things in our life that are destined to happen, certain things happening to our body, or certain circumstances and situations, or meeting certain people. I very much so believe in that we have work to do with certain people, or even work to do with certain places, like in the world. Like if you feel called to a certain location, there's something that's meant to unfold for you there. And that could be you showing up to this place so that you can bump into somebody and affect them in the way that they were meant to be affected in that moment. That's like the web of karma, man. And that shit's deep. Like every single one of us right now in the chat, all of us talking and sharing these ideas, we're all influencing each other. We're all having an influence on each other. Every single comment I read from you guys influences me in a particular way. And, this kind of goes back to the faith thing. I feel that every single way in which I'm being influenced by your comments and by just the moment itself is in order to sort of trigger and catalyze certain feelings and certain thoughts that will then precipitate certain actions that will lead me on this sort of ordained path, this unfolding, and like the way that I feel towards the whole free will thing, if you've ever felt like something was meant to happen, like just one thing, like, you're looking at a sunset, or you meet somebody and you're like, this was meant to happen. If one thing was meant to happen, that must mean that the entire thing was meant to happen. Because everything up until that one thing that was meant to happen had to cooperate with each other to bring you into the position, physically, mentally, spiritually, where that one thing that was meant to happen could happen. So it's all coordinated. It's all in cooperation with itself. You know what I mean? But there's the feeling of free will, but I think on a very transcendent level, the free will that you think and feel that you have is born from past desires, past karmas or actions, past experiences, where I can go, I'm going to pick up this coffee cup and I'm going to put this coffee cup down. But if one of you didn't mention free will when you did, I wouldn't have had the desire to be demonstrating I can pick it up and put it down. You know what I mean? And the free will feeling is influenced by past experiences, both willed experiences and things that weren't willed. And like driving a car, for example, like, you're not choosing to turn the wheel and choosing to speed up and slow down. It's just happening. But if you put your attention on it, it suddenly seems, I'm choosing to turn the wheel. I'm choosing to speed up. So that brings into question how will, or making a choice, is only a thing when your attention is on it. Because I can choose to pick up this cup and put this cup down, but then while I'm talking to you, I'll just pick it up and drink it. And I just did the same action, but my will wasn't on it. So it's a choice happening free of the chooser. You know what I mean? I think the source of creation, God, functions within the creation itself, and meditation is just a tool to access the source of creation. Damn, GT. See, I had this like idea that you were like a skeptic, scientific atheist from everything you were saying. I think the source of creation functions within the creation itself, and meditation is just a tool to access the source of creation. So yeah, what do you think the source is, man? I understand where you're coming from. The thing is, I can't even say it's I feel for me. It's not a feeling. Just know when it comes to certain things we can't explain. All right, I just dropped down to the bottom of the chat to catch up with you guys. Everything we do, regardless of the action or how conscious we are at the time, is still free will. Everything we do with the reaction, how conscious we are at the time, is still free will. How is it free, though, if you're not choosing to do it? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? You make decisions that you're not present to make the decision. You know what I mean? You are now consciously blinking and breathing. See, you're kind of seeing what I'm saying. All this stuff is happening that if you put your will on it, I'm going to blink. It seems like I'm choosing to blink. I'm going to pick up the coffee cup. I'm going to put the coffee cup down. Is your subconscious still you? Yeah. Yeah, I feel like your subconscious is kind of like your shadow. You know, it's the thing that you can't be conscious of about yourself. It's sort of an influence, you know? You are choosing to drive to the destination even if you mute out the drive. But, I mean, you can, like, take it a step further and think about, like, you're going to the destination for a reason that is muted out. In the same way you mute out the drive, you can mute out the reason why you're driving at all, you know? And you're not choosing to mute it out, you know what I'm saying? It fades off into flow. It fades off into naturalness. Just, there's nobody doing it. It's just happening. Yo, bro, what's up, Donatello? How you doing, man? By the way, this live right now has been one of the most thought-provoking and active lives that I've done. Like, hands down, the most active and busy and diverse group of people. Very interesting conversations. So yeah, thank you guys all for hanging out here. I hope you're having a good time. It's very fun. I go live every single Thursday, 7 o'clock in the evening, Eastern time, and just hang out and do this. And it's funny, man. We'll talk about God, spirituality, politics, meditation, psychedelics, all sorts of stuff, you know? And it's the flow is sort of guided by you guys, you know? So it's beautiful. I love all you, by the way. Thank you so much. Regardless of what you're saying, regardless of what your standpoints are, I appreciate every single one of you for being here right now. I would think the subconscious is who you really are. What do you think the subconscious is, though? Is it like a sort of personality that you don't have access to that's influencing your thoughts and actions and stuff? When someone yawns, you can find yourself yawning back even. Right. Good point. Sup, Bree? I'm just saying, God knows our heart and our true intentions with our free will. You can hide your heart's true intentions from everyone but not God. I feel that, homie. I feel that. And where I'm coming with the whole free will thing is that it seems as though we are doing life. We are living life, but we are being lived. It's an unfolding, man. And we were talking about faith earlier. I don't know if GT is still here. We were having a good conversation about faith. Faith it's all unfolding naturally. And when you realize that, the feeling of thinking I have to choose and I'm making choices, it puts a huge strain on the natural, effortless way of being. The feeling of having to choose is like consciously driving the whole time, When in reality, once you know how to drive, you just let go and driving happens. Driving is. There is no longer a driver. There is no longer a chooser. Life is just flowing, and you have faith that it's going where it needs to go. You know? Being the choosers, I don't know, it's like it's an awkward effort. I'm gonna choose to do this. You know, you don't need to apply that mental effort. It's all flowing, baby. It's all happening naturally. Some things we do are purely habitual and serve no real purpose. If you examine everything you do, you'll actually find you do so much stuff without even thinking about it and without a why. Facts, dude. Like rearrange something in your house. This is a beautiful example that little big man just gave. If you rearrange something in your house, like something that you grab often or go to often, watch and see how you go to it and it's not there anymore because you rearranged it. And so you start to realize how much you're just fucking living your life on autopilot. What choosing are you doing? You're muting out, you know, Trent McClellan expressed how you can mute out the drive. Well, when you do that little rearranging experiment, you realize you're muting out your life, bro. So what choices are you making when you apply a sort of control, you rearrange it a little bit, you fucking just doing shit out of habit. You know what I mean? It's just happening. And then you start to realize, oh, right, I changed it. You know, on comes the effort to make the choice. So then once you apply that effort enough and you realize it's over there, you just start acting out of habit again. You mute out the will, you know? We are not being lived, haha. How to break free from the high anxiousness that comes from being perceived by others. Grace, what a beautiful question. And I think it's by doing stuff like this. Not only reflecting on yourself of, wait one moment. So yeah, that's a really good question. And I think it's an even balance of reflecting on yourself of why are you so anxious about being perceived by others? Why are you putting your worth, your credibility, your value, your power in the hands of other people? You know, in psychology, this is called the imaginary audience. Like right now, I have a legit audience. You guys are sitting here watching me, making comments about the things that I'm saying and all this stuff. But in psychology, there's this thing called the imaginary audience where, you know, you ever walking, you know, you're walking in public and you think everybody's watching you. Oh my God, am I walking right? Do I look weird? Do I look cool? Here, I'm going to control my stride so I look cooler. You know, you imagine that all these people are watching you, but see, most of us, most of the time are in that perspective of thinking all the eyes are on us. So nobody's focusing on you. They're all thinking you're focusing on them, which is a really far out thing to realize. And when it comes to how to break from that anxiousness, it comes in realizing that your worth and your value is not determined or contingent upon the perspective of others. And why would you give your power away to what somebody else thinks of you? Why is the validity of what you feel and think determined by what somebody else thinks of what you think? You know? And also another way to break free from that anxiety of being perceived by others is to put yourselves in positions where you get perceived by others. Go live on YouTube, make a YouTube channel, share yourself, express yourself, put yourself out there. You're going to feel all this panic. But what that panic is you stepping outside of that comfort zone, which says don't show yourself, don't show up, don't put yourself out there, don't express yourself. It wants you to stay quiet and stay small because you have all this anxiety of being perceived by other people. But as you continue to put yourself out there, you realize that people only have as much power over you as you give them. If I don't mind what you think of me, I'm free. If I'm over here going, I hope every single one of you in the chat right now thinks I'm awesome and cool and smart and attractive and enough and funny, good luck. Because the game of trying to get everybody to like you is an unwinnable game. And the way that you win the unwinnable game is by not playing it anymore. You stop playing. And what it means to stop playing is to realize that my worth isn't determined by what you think of me. Your worth is not determined by what other people think of you. So by doing inquiry into why you're so anxious of what everybody else thinks, paired with putting yourself out there and putting yourself in that uncomfortable, vulnerable position, I think you will begin to increasingly come to a place of breaking free from that anxiety. It's a self-induced anxiety, you know? Bro, you're not a Tesla. What the fuck, you're a spirit. Hey, I'm back. Hey, Mario, what's up, homie? How you doing? I have respect for my man. My room is a mess. I always do, but I get others involved. Change the flow. All right, I just scrolled down to the bottom of the chat. Eric Sparks, you are too high, bro. I'm actually completely sober, bro. It's just like the video you made about how society doesn't exist. In the same way we project this idea of society on everyone else, we project the audience or other on everyone else too. Facts, bro. I don't think our minds are capable of knowing intellectually what the source of creation is. It's more like we would have to experience it within ourselves to know it, if that makes sense. Facts, GT. Facts, bro. And see, that's what faith is to me. It's an inner experience. It's not faith in something outside. It's an inner knowing, you know? Thank you so much. Do what makes you afraid. That's very true. That's very true. If you want to have a YouTube channel, but you're afraid of putting yourself out there, what do you think you got to do to get over that fear? Do you abandon your dream of wanting to have a YouTube channel and never make it because you're afraid of what people are going to think? Nope. You make the fucking YouTube channel. If you're making a video and you're a perfectionist, I used to be like this. Oh my God, am I saying that right? Oh, I messed up that sentence. I can't even think straight. Oh my God, how do I look? Oh my God, the lighting's... You strangle your creative flow. And the way to overcome that, the way to break free from that, is to just stop giving a shit. And a lot of the time, when you stop caring and you just when you're just be you, when you watch that video back, you're going to be like, damn, dude, like, it's not as bad as I thought. You're not as bad as you're making yourself out to be. You're not as... Whatever your anxieties and insecurities are, they're not fucking true. They're a fear. And that fear makes you look worse than were you to just let go. You know? You flow when you let go. And it's by being afraid of what other people think and being afraid of not being good enough that's what constricts you. You think that letting go is what's going to cause all the havoc. But little do you know, you're already living in the havoc right now by being so afraid to express yourself. And were you to just let go of giving a shit and just do it, embrace it, lean into it, you would start to see how beautiful you actually are, you know? I gotta plug my phone in. Like, something I've been working on right now, guys, is my name is Devin, and obviously my YouTube channel name is Northwood Shaman. I have kept Northwood Shaman and Devin separate for years. I've had this YouTube channel for 5 years, 6 years maybe, and I've kept them separate. And the reason I kept them separate was because I didn't want people I knew to know that I have a YouTube channel talking about all this crazy stuff. And the reason I didn't want him to know about that was because I was afraid of what they were going to think. I was afraid of being judged. And slowly over the years, by leaning into who I really am and becoming more and more confident and secure in who I am and bringing those levels of myself together, basically just becoming confident in who I am, Northwood Shaman and Devin are coming back together because ultimately they've never been separate. I just kept them separate because I was afraid of people judging me. And the way that manifested itself was first making a Northwood Shaman Instagram and then linking that Northwood Shaman Instagram to my personal account. So now you guys can literally find my personal account. And just as of late, what I've been doing is posting little clips and thumbnails of my YouTube videos on my personal Instagram story. So now everybody I know, my family, my coworkers, my friends from school, everybody I know can see Northwood Shaman. They see that I have a YouTube channel, and I realize there's this huge fear in that. Oh my God, they're going to judge me. They're going to think I'm weird. They're going to think I'm, all this fear. And I've come to realize that it's literally by facing that fear and going head on into it that you can come out of it. You grow through it. When I want to post that thing on my story, but my fear is like, no, don't do it. They're going to judge you. I realize in that moment, okay, I need to post this because I'm not going to suppress myself and silence myself because of what other people are thinking. Who am I trying to impress? Why am I trying to advocate for the thoughts of somebody I don't even really know that doesn't even care about me? And that's another thing is you think everybody's going to give a shit about what you think and what you do. They're either going to not give a shit and scroll, judge you, which only shows where they're at, or lift you up, value you, appreciate you, So you got nothing to lose. All that's going to happen is you're going to grow. And when you get haters, I get a lot of haters in the chat, the live chats, and it's stressful. It makes me feel tense, and it makes me feel, oh my God, and, scared and judged and criticized, and it's a weird feeling. And that feeling is what keeps us silent. It's what keeps us so small and, oh my God, don't share my opinion. You're hanging out with a group of people, and they're all saying something that you don't agree with, but you're afraid to. You don't say, hey guys, I don't agree with what you're saying because you don't want to stand out. Because when you stand out, people point at you, people judge you, people put you down. You're different. So the goal of the ego is to disappear. Herd mentality. Don't stand out. Standing out is dangerous. Don't post your art. Don't post your video. Don't post that selfie. Don't go live on YouTube. All these people are going to judge you, I've come to realize that it's literally by engaging in that thing in particular that growth happens. Stop playing small, man. Artists and teachers and beautiful people, just beautiful people alone are born from having an inner vision, and their ego says, I don't know if you should do this. You're going to stand out. They're going to judge you. And you say, listen, I'm going to fucking do it anyway. That's where art is born. I'm just plugging in my phone. All right. Okay, Trent McClellan, do you believe in Jesus as God and the truth? Please respond. I'm sorry, homie. I've been raving. Do you believe in Jesus? I don't call it Jesus, but I think that Jesus and God and the truth are, it's my personal relationship. I'm not a Christian, I don't read the Bible. I don't believe in, I don't ascribe to Jesus Christ, but I think all these religions are pointing, it's a finger pointing to the moon, and the moon that they're pointing at is God, and a lot of us, we get stuck looking at the finger when the point is to look at what the finger's pointing at. You know what I'm saying? Shit, GT, no way, bruh. You thought I was saying faith as a God up in the sky? Dude, I'm sorry, man. I wish we could have clarified that in the beginning, because no, I do not believe in a guy in the sky with a beard that's waiting for me to be a good little boy and follow his 10 rules, you know what I'm saying? Faith is fucking faith in this. Whatever this is, it's all good, man. Hi, the first time I see you, David Solomon. What's up, homie? I hope you're well. I'm kind of going through the chat a little bit. Bro, I'm reading your book right now, brother. I'm on page 25, and it's amazing. Guys, get this dude's book, Altered State of Consciousness. Thank you so much, homie. I love that fucking book. You guys, check this out. Here's what Altered States of Consciousness is talking about. He is referring to this right here. Trippy Love. I think it's mirrored. It looks weird. But yeah, your boy wrote a book, and it's a fucking beautiful book. This is like such a sacred project of mine, you know, and it check it out. It would mean the world to me, you know? I love that book. And Altered States of Consciousness, what you're reading right now, the introduction, that is my by far favorite part of that book, is that introduction. I poured my heart and soul into that shit. Thank you so much, man. Much respect to you, friend. May you be blessed. Thank you so much, Grace. Thank you for your grace. It's beautiful. I was only having a conversation about this last night and told a friend a poem I wrote nearly 30 years ago that I had published that ends with, I want to be me, and I'm at 45. I'm finally getting there. The teddy bear wallpaper is gangster, homie. Oh, shit. You had to be there to find out why that's there, man. Jesus was a man with a high level of consciousness. Yes, he was the Son of God, but so are we. Facts. Power to you. Thank you, Grace. I love you. Thank you very much. What you doing? He died for us on the cross and took our punishment for our sins. Maria Carbala, what you doing? I'm just hanging out on live, bro. Lee Pritchard says, lispy creep. It's a comment as simple as that'll get you banned from the chat. Put user in timeout for infinity. There we go. On the cross took our punishment. This is me planting the seeds of Jesus. Almost every religious points to Jesus, but says he's only one of the ways, but only Christianity says he is the truth. You are you are Illuminati. I saw the eye on your book. What are you talking about? Show the book again. All right. I legit dig the teddy bears. All right, so I'll describe to you guys real quick. I live at my grandfather's house. This room I'm in, my room, is my aunt's old bedroom from when she was a child. So that's child wallpaper. Just fucking kicking, dude. That's a big book. What's in it? Okay, so let's check this out real quick. Let me show you guys. Let me give you a legit view, okay? So this is Trippy Love, a collection of talks on psychedelics, spirituality, and the mystery of existence. And what it is it's a book of over 54 hours of direct transcriptions of videos from my YouTube channel, where I transcribed my videos, the videos that meant the most to me. And in the first 40 or so pages, there's a introduction of my life. It kind of goes over just the different chapters of my life, you know what I mean? It's an incredible book, man. It's a beautiful book, and if you've ever, I'm sure a lot of you here are new to the channel, but if you've ever been curious about who I am, where I came from, what the different chapters of my life are, and what's led from one thing to the next, you will highly appreciate that book. You can find it in the links on my YouTube channel. You'll find it get my book here or whatever, but I honor that book. It's incredible. It includes the introduction. It includes over like 750 pages of easy to read transcripts of my videos, and also like reading is a completely different way to digest information. Some people like to listen, some people like to look, and some people like to read, you know what I mean? And by reading it, you're taking in information in a completely different way. And I don't know where the hell the idea to do this came from. Like one day I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna fucking turn my YouTube channel into a book. So like if my YouTube channel ever got like terminated, like I got this bad bitch right here. Also, look at this cover, bro. This cover is sick. It's it's supposed to capture the wonder and the power of psychedelics and just the curiosity of spirituality, you know? $25 on Amazon, and you want to know the catch? I'm not asking for money here because your boy Northwood Shaman, guess how much I make every time you buy a copy? I make fucking 6 cents. Because the route that I went through publishing this book through Amazon is not the route you should go in if you want to be a successful author. I went through the route that I did because I wanted to get the book out and available. And so Amazon, you know, Jeff Bezos is just basking in the moolah from this book, dude, because I've sold probably 10 or so copies, 15 or so copies, and I've only made what, like $1, $2? So it's not a money grab. This is an offering of my heart to you guys, you know, and there's been times where I'm like, dude, you should publish it legit so you can actually make money. But this book is an offering, complete offering. I worked on it for almost 3 years, and yeah, it's completely from, I know it'll cost you $25, but I'm not. That's the cheapest. Also, that's the cheapest that I could run it for on Amazon, because it costs them so much to make it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the cheapest I could run it for. It's $25, which kind of sucks. I would have sold it for $12 if I could. Made it to another live. Let's go, man. Thanks for spreading your powerful words. Thank you for pulling up, Buck. I don't know how to say that, but I love you, bro. I see your comments and I feel your vibes, and I appreciate you so much. Black Mirror, how old are you if you don't mind answering? I am 24 years old. The one eye is an occult symbol. I didn't go for that, Trent. I was kind of just going for the wondrous feel, you know what I'm saying? Fucking, oh, wow. How long have you been doing YouTube, bro? I've been doing YouTube for probably close to 6 years or so, something like that. And for a long time, I was just kind of like video diary of my life and the shit that I was learning and blowing my mind. And everything you'll find in that book was the period of my life where I was just sharing all this stuff. And as of recently, as of the past 3 months, I've really began to take YouTube seriously. You know, doing these lives every single week, posting content every single week, engaging, growing, sharing myself more and more and more, leveling up my recordings, leveling up my editing. I've completely gone headfirst into YouTube. And it's beautiful. It's growing, you know, and I love, like, these lives, for example, are an example of that growing, of the dedication to the channel, and I love it so much, man. It's beautiful. What is the significance of the beads you wear? These beads are something that I began wearing in the very beginning of my spiritual journey, and usually they're used as a mantra. You move a bead and repeat a mantra. Ram, 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 ram. But to me, it's this reminder. It's this thing. It's a external expression of my soul. You know what I'm saying? And it's my thing, man. You know, I got the beads, I got the LSD, I got the bracelets. It's just like my accessory. You know what I mean? And there's a deep spiritual significance, different than that of. I think somebody asked me about my earrings or something, but yeah, it's different than my earrings. This represents something very deep and very wholesome. Hey, keep it. No one asked for it. I don't know what you're talking about. Respect to you for that, bro. I love it. Thank you so much, bro. Those zero gauge. Oh yeah, you are talking. No, they're actually they're studs. They're wooden studs. I love them, dude. They fucking look fuego. Bro got the dopamine chemical. Definitely vegan. I'm not vegan, and it's not dopamine, so. Rough, bro. L chat. Whole world's sleeping on this guy. Seriously underrated content. Thank you, bro. That really means a lot. Dude's like if a dog became human. All right. Well done. I'm happy for you. Thank you so much. From what corners of this world are you people, right? We got a whole beautiful demographic of people here in the chat. Beads from an African tribe he culture vultured. That's a beautiful way to describe like cultural appropriation, right? Culture vultured. What are those beads called? They're called mala beads. M-A-L-A. Ram is solar plexus mantra. That's beautiful that you know that. Mala beads. Prayer beads. Yep, that too. Just giving so much out to the community. It can be felt. This dude fucks, you know? He gets it. Thank you, homie. I appreciate that. Canal beads, yeah. They weren't brown at first. That's silly. Butt beads. Thanks to everyone but the troll. I know. I'm gonna keep scrolling and see. Well, he's cooperating a little bit. Yeah, that's so cool. You guys are dropping where you're from and shit. That's awesome. Tennessee here. KSA, Scotland. Wow. England. United Kingdom. I am from Maine. Yeah, I'm hanging out here in Maine, man. Dude, this chat has been fucking killing it. You guys are on it, dude. I love it so much. What happens when I go live and there's a chat that's this active? Because all I do is I just sit here and read the chat. I just go into a flow state. Like, it's been, what, 2.5 hours or something, and I've just been fucking kicking it, man. It's great. I felt that I was, like, northeast. No one asked where you're from. Hey, watch it, bro. When you don't add positivity to the chat, you get removed. I felt that was, like, northeast. Love and subscribe. Keep being you no matter what. Thank you, Grace. And I say the same thing to you and send the very same energy to you. Do you think spiritual accessories and stuff are valid? Not like beads. I'm talking more crystals and idols, etc. Valid as in, what you mean? Like, necessary? Do I think are, like, or do they work? Yeah, expand a little bit. Time to light up. Let's get it moving. You care about others. Is that a question or a statement? Dude, I don't even smoke weed, bro. I'll bust out the fucking flute, though. Just pull out the fucking flute, bro. What's happening in the world? What is... Dude, I don't even want to ask what CTE spirituality is. You're just adding bunk into the chat. Over here just typing out garbaggio. Also, this chat has been so active. I've had to block like 5 different people from the chat. Like, it's crazy. Like, there's no filter on YouTube lives. By valid, I meant there's specific crystals which genuinely attract a specific injury. Oh, a specific energy, not injury. I read the bottom message. In my opinion, it's more about perspective than anything. I completely agree. It's also, to me, it's about like intention, you know, like I have crystals in my room, and, you know, I have like one of those like selenite rods in my car on my dashboard, and, you know, like I got fucking rocks from a bunch of different states and shit, you know, and it's about intention to me, like what you bring to the energy, You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with this right here. Yo, what tuning was the flute? Was that 440 or 432? I don't know, bro. A. Give us, let's see your most complimentary comment that you can add to this chat, bro. Like, if we put you on the spot right now, like, what is it? This is for you, A. Shit, bro. But yeah, little big man, it's about the energy, man, that you bring to it. I believe crystals help to filter or magnify vibrations in the same way plants purify the air. That's very interesting. That's very interesting. And I can get down with that, homie. Absolutely. Best mantra is to let this moment be exactly as it is. By not fighting with it, you start to feel its harmony. That's getting pinned right there. That's gorgeous. That's exactly it. Let the moment be just as it is. Do you meditate? Yes, I do. And I don't have like a strict practice, you know? I meditate as a tool. I don't meditate as like a practice, like, oh, time to meditate, you know what I mean? I meditate when I feel called to, and I use it as a tool to come into the moment. Like when somebody makes fun of like a zit on the side of your head, and you feel all these weird energies inside, like, oh my God, like, this is so annoying, like, I'm so scared, and I'm not good enough. You sit down, you focus on your breath, and kind of like, who was it? Kind of like Nika Adrian said about allowing the moment to just be what it is. You just sit down, and you allow the moment to be exactly as it is. And you stop fighting it, and you don't try to push away your thoughts. You don't try to think certain thoughts. You don't try to make something happen or make something stop happening. You just let the moment be just as it is. And it's literally like a natural purifier. It naturally cleanses the space. It's like, you know, in this time that we live in, like, it's so active and rambunctious and so much activity, and let's do this and let's do that, and what about that, and oh my God, I forgot that, and I got to do this, and what about that? It gets, I don't know about you guys, but I get to this point of like mental restlessness where I'm just doing shit for no reason. And that's when I feel the calling to sit down and mindfully ground myself. And it's like all this restlessness is like all these waves and ripples on the water, and when you stop fucking around with the water calms. And when the surface, like when the water is all turbulent, you can't see into it. But when you let the water calm, you can see deeply into it. And that's the very same thing with you, when you calm down and you quiet down, you can see into a deeper part of yourself. And that deeper part of yourself is where peace is. It's where creativity is. It's where passion is. It's where motivation is. It's where happiness is deep within you in the present moment right now. But it's masked in all this rambunctious overthinking activity. You know what I'm saying? You are loved, not just by me, but by the world. All you got to do is accept that love. That's so beautiful. I love it. Lil Big Man, you've been adding beautiful vibes into the chat. Yeah, Grace, you too. You guys got killer vibes. I love it. He is prejudiced with the selection of reading comments out loud. It's, yeah, I mean, there's no reason to read nonsense, you know? Like, do you sit around reading bullshit comments for fun, you know? Especially in like a live setting. Like, I'm starting to do that. I'm starting to just kind of hop over the nonsense. Like, why would I give my time to that? In the same way I'm like giving time to it right now. Like, I could be reading a comment oriented around positivity and love and learning, and not just like bitching and moaning in a live chat of somebody that you don't know. You should try. Oh, I thought this said gaming. I didn't ask you to make fun of my zit, bro. I said give me the most complimentary comment you got, and I meant like something that's like a reflection of like who you are. You know, you did that. You did that. You know. I will chat more. I love seeing Grace. I love seeing you and Little Big Man talking to each other. That's so beautiful. D, what are you talking about here? What are you referring to, man? Are you trans? No. I'm a dude. Man. What's up with Trump canceling all NIH grants? What is NIH? Damn, most of the research projects in my university are funded by NIH. He should do Hanuman Chalisa. We gotta get AI to get Trump to sing the Hanuman Chalisa. We transform this into a natural meditation. Yeah, facts. Chat, are we cat people or dog people? I'm a cat man myself. Honestly, same. I have 4 cats, Little Big Man. What if you see something you don't like? What do you mean, eh? Beautiful analogy. Thank you, bro. Gotta sign out, dude. Been funny and chill. Good vibes. Thank you so much, Altered States of Conscience. I love you, bro. Marcus Johnson is out. Give me one moment here. Hide user. What does that mean? Dog woman, but cats seem to follow me all the time. That's why it's present. That's why it's called the present, because it's a gift. Facts, bro. You see people with your eyes. That's why you think they are good. Facts. All right. A's out. A, I love you, bro, but you're out of the chat. Sorry, homie. That's beautiful. Animals really follow the good vibes. Rick, the Bible offers wisdom. It says to not argue with fools and avoid foolish quarrels. That's facts, bro. That's kind of why I'm removing these people. Devin, I bet you do an epic Jack Black impression. Now, okay, I'm brave enough to fucking go live on YouTube, but I am not brave enough to sit here and try to fucking sound like Jack Black, bro. I have 2 cats and a parrot. No shit, you have a parrot? The National Institutes of Health, a part of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, is the nation's medical research agency. I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about you guys, but I don't follow politics very much. I don't associate with it. I don't know my way around it. You know, I also don't vote. I don't vote because I'm sort of, all these people have asked me, why don't you vote? You know, I'm embarrassed of what I'm voting for, of the system that I'm voting for, you know what I mean? What's up, Andrew? How you doing, homie? Parrots are incredible animals. So interesting. Parrots are the ones that can, like, repeat after you, yeah? You can let rude people be. It's a part of the exercise of accepting. I feel that, absolutely, Nika. Do you think adding, I feel like removing them is like, it's a good vibe. Like, it adds a good energy, or it gets rid of a negative energy, you know what I mean? Like, not having to just see lame shit, you know? But as far as, like, being angry or, like, despising them or whatever, that's a whole other story, you know? Jesus bore our sins, his body crossed when he died, with limb righteous. I don't know if people go around the lives, like the YouTube lives, and like profess like Christian stuff, but I get a lot of that in my lives for some reason. But anyways, guys, it's pretty late in the night here where I'm at. It's been a kick-ass live, one of the best for sure. Very fun, very interesting. A lot of different kinds of people here. Talked about a bunch of fun stuff. Green Sheet Canoe, she's great. My shadow, and I have to say, you have such an amazing presence, bro. Thank you so much, Jesse. That's so sweet. That means the world to me. Yeah, I love you guys. I love you. Whether you vibe with the stuff that I associate with or not, you're here hanging out. We're all just here hanging out, talking, having a good time together, and it's really fun. But yeah, if you didn't know, I do these lives every single Thursday at 7 p.m. And I have a YouTube channel, obviously. I talk about spirituality, human psychology, self-transformation, motivation, you know, undoing negative and limiting belief systems and all that fun stuff, you know, and I post every single week, sometimes multiple times a week. So yeah, definitely check out the channel if you liked what you're seeing here. And yeah, thank you guys so much. These lives wouldn't be anything without you guys here talking and having a good time. But yeah, thank you guys. The chats are fun. You broke your wrist today. Shit, man. I feel like I almost broke my pinky toe. I got up off the couch and fucking... She cranked to the left a little too hard. You're welcome. I love you too. That's so sweet. Oh. Love all you guys. Hope to see you here next week. If not, may our paths cross and our vibes resonate when the time comes. My homies. Lil Big Man, your vibes are immaculate. I love it so much. Thank you guys so much. I love you all very, very much. I'm going to get off this live, get ready for bed, and it's my weekend, so I got 3 days to chill. Yeah, I love you guys. It's been fun, and I will see you all next Thursday. Ram Ram.